Hey everyone, this is Humlock24, and today we're going to be talking about extremely underrated cards. And I think I was trying to make it to a top 10, but I just couldn't leave some of the cards out, so I just decided to make it basically to a top 14. But anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it. The first one is Spell Striker. Spell Striker is actually extremely good. I do need to dig for more copies of it. I only have a single copy of it. If you don't know what it does, is you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one spell card from your graveyard. This card can attack directly. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. So basically, it's a free synchro summon if you have a tuner in your hand, and if you've already activated a spell card. It gives you a free special summon, and then you can use a tuner and then synchro summon into something else. I think it's extremely underrated, and not that many people are playing it. I do highly recommend that you use it, especially if you're playing a synchro related deck. The next one is the Obnoxious Celtic card. Now, this card is extremely annoying, and it cannot be destroyed by a battle with a monster that has 1900 or more attack. I was playing a couple of games, and this thing is just a complete wall. I think everyone is running over 1900 monsters now. It's extremely rare to find someone that's not, and then if you do find someone, you can always use spell or trap cards that boost the either attack or lower it to where they won't be able to destroy this guy. And if you equip it with something that's basically it's indestructible unless they have like a something like a spell card to destroy him. But this thing it's a complete wall. The next one, Snowman Eater. I don't know why I don't see this card more often. 1900 defense it's respectable. It's not like the highest defense, but it does take 2 hits, so it will defend you for 2 turns. And most of the time, especially if you're running a synchro deck, the ability for it to survive at just 1 turn will give you a huge advantage. And the next one would be the Card Trooper. Card Trooper is actually extremely good, and in the TCG when it was at 3, it was extremely broken, and you can OTK with it. With the single card trooper that we do have, you can run a ton of mill decks. It gets you through the deck extremely fast, especially since it's a 20 card deck, and when it gets destroyed, you get to draw cards. So I think it needs to be used way more. It's 1900 attack whenever you mill the 3 cards, and I think it is extremely underrated. I've been using it in a lot of my decks now. But the next one, on this one, just basically mill and it goes up to 1900. The next one would be Peen the Dark Clown. Now, this with Bubonic Vermin and Troop Dragon, they're basically the exact same thing. And again, this will help with synchro monsters, and basically when they get destroyed, they just replace themselves. And they all, both the Troop Dragons and the Bubonic Vermin, basically have almost the exact same effect. The Vermin, whenever it's flipped, it gets another copy of itself. Troop Dragon, whenever it gets destroyed, gets another copy of itself, and so does Peen the Dark Clown. So I do think with the whole new synchro thing, this card is extremely good, and I don't know why there's not that many people playing it. I think it's easy. It's an easy way to summon basically any synchro. The next one is going to be the Unexpected Die. I think this card is complete. I think this is the best card for synchros right now. This is basically an emergency teleport, and it gives you a complete toolbox of the deck that you're using. If you need a level 2, a level 3, 4, or whatever it is that you need, this thing will get it. If you don't know what it does, it's if you control no monster, special summon 1 level 4 lower normal monster from your deck. Now, I've been toying around with this card a ton. I've been using it in Mermails. I've been using it in a Stardust Synchro deck. I've just been using it in everything. Especially if you're going second, this card just gives you a ton of advantage. With the Mermail deck, you can go ahead and summon the Undyne, or not summon the Undyne, but activate the Unexpected Die, get a controller, summon Undyne, send it could be basically any Atlantean, and then get another controller, and then you basically have a free level 6 synchro or level 5. Can't remember what it was, but it's super broken, I think. And I think if they release better synchros, this card may be getting restricted in some sort of fashion. I think it might go to 2, because again, being able to have an extra special summon and being able to have basically any level up to 4, I think it's just ridiculous. And I think if people start using it, it might get hit, because it's just a huge advantage to get a card for free basically from your deck. And I don't think I see that many people playing it. Well, as far as I've seen, I haven't seen many people really taking advantage of what this card can actually do. The next one, Autonomous Action Unit. Again, this is extremely underrated. It's basically, in the late game, is basically another toolbox like the Unexpected Die. Because yes, you do have to pay the 1500, but again, you can get basically any monster from your opponent's graveyard. And in the late game, that's basically any level 4 or 3. And if you're playing something that runs tributes, it could be anything from a 5 to a 6. So I think it does deserve a spot in any deck list, I think, especially if you're running synchros or if you're running a tribute based deck like Monarchs or something similar. So I do highly recommend maybe running one. I only have the one, so I always run it when I can. The next one, this is Rush Recklessly. It is kind of like a budget version of a Mirror Wall. And if you don't have Mirror Wall, you can always run Rush Recklessly. And it can catch a ton of people off guard, especially in the lower ranks. If you're anywhere below gold, I think this card is extremely good. A lot of people don't see it coming, and most of the time this card will allow you to win games. Same thing with the Forbidden Chalice. Forbidden Chalice is going to be an extremely good card whenever more boxes get released. It's the ability to target one face-up monster on the field and to the end of this turn that target gains 400 attack by its effects are negated is just enormous. And the fact that the effect is negated is the key part. You basically don't care about the attack boost. It's all about negating the effect. And once more effect monsters get released, I think this card is going to see a ton more play. And then the next one would be 7 Tools of the Bandit. There's a ton of trap cards being played now, and I think 7 Tools of the Bandit does deserve basically 2 spots in the deck list if you're playing somewhat. I would say around mid tier, because in the higher tiers I do see a lot of X Sabers and a lot of I'm still seeing a lot of Phoenixes. So mid tier, I think 7 Tools of the Bandit is a really good card. Then the next one, Solemn Scolding. Solemn Scolding is one of those cards that's either really good or really bad. In Duel Links, we can't really take much advantage of it, because you do have to pay 3,000 life points to negate something. But since it is Duel Links and you have a limited amount of cards whenever you start playing, negating a single card is huge. If you play the 2CG, you know that just negating one card or one key card will most likely win you the game. And I think Solemn Scolding does deserve a little bit more credit than people are giving it. It's an extremely amazing card, and whenever it came out, I did get 3 copies of it. And I think this is one of the ones that I've upgraded, because again, I do think that it has a ton of potential, and it's just waiting for basically the right deck to be played in. But if you know how to play it right, I think this card by itself can win you games. The next one, Sing Sing Hu again. Again, with the same thing as the 7 Tools of the Bandit, Sing Sing Hu. A lot of people are sending a ton of cards, and Sing Sing Hu is actually extremely good against people that do that, especially in the lower tiers. You're able to lock 2 set spell or trap cards, and that's just it's huge and will most likely win you the game. I know X Sabers are kind of a thing now, and X Sabers again, I think they're contending to be if not like tier 1, maybe a tier 2, because they do have that monster that destroys 3 back rows, which again it's really good. And trying to counter that, I think Security Orb deserves some mention. Security Orb, if you're playing against Hex Sabers, this is gonna be extremely bad for them if they hit a Security Orb. And it serves two purposes. You can, whenever it gets destroyed, it basically destroys a monster on the field, or it kind of works like an enemy controller. Whenever they attack, their monsters get switched to defense mode. So I think Security Orb should be played a little bit more, especially now that enemy controller got restricted to 2. You can always put a Security Orb in the 3rd spot of the enemy controller, and I find myself doing that a lot now. It's either a Security Orb or the Paleozoic. What is, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one that basically acts like a Book of Moon. And I was gonna put that in the list, except that a lot of people are playing it now, so it's not really underrated. But if you haven't stumbled upon it, do check it out. And I think it's a really good card. It's basically a Book of Moon for Duel Links right now. Don't really know how long it'll be until they release Book of Moon, but that Paleozoic card, I think it's really good. The next one and the last one, Curse of Anubis. This card, I think, is the MVP of all underrated cards. This thing will win you so many games, especially if you play it right. This with Windstorm and 2 enemy controllers and a Security Orb, and then basically anything else that you might want to put in the deck will most likely be extremely good. Curse of Anubis, if you don't know what it does, is change all effect monsters on the field to defense position, and to the end of this turn, the original defense of those monsters becomes 0. Also, their battle position cannot be changed. So the fact that I think the last ban list, I don't remember if it was the last ban list or the one before that, when the pulse mines got restricted. Using the third, I'm using basically Curse of Anubis as the third pulse mine whenever I'm running Gear Geas. And that basically leaves the deck exactly where it was before the pulse mines. Yes, the pulse mines are a little bit better than the Curse of Anubis, but Curse of Anubis basically does the exact same thing, and everyone's running effect monsters. It's extremely rare to find someone that's running a ton of normal monsters, unless they're running like a synchro with the with this unexpected die. But if I did miss any underrated cards, do leave me a comment in the comment section below, and let me know why you think that it's underrated, or what the uses are, or what you're using it for. And I think we'll go ahead and leave it off there. I was hoping this video not be over 10 minutes, but we're at the 13-minute mark. But again, if you have any questions or comments, do go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you are enjoying my content, do subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.